Hello, my name is Matthew Meadows. I am in charge of the cactus and succulent area here at Orchard Nursery and Florist in Lafayette. Today I'm going to be showing you a little bit on how to plant up a succulent container. So first, you'd select the container you're going to use. Today I chose this nice orange one. So to go with the orange container, I have chosen to complete the theme with orange colored plants, a light yellow, and a nice green hue. So the three colors we're going for are green, orange, and yellow. You want to assess how many plants you can fit in your pot. So right now I have one larger plant. This is the focal point. This is going to draw the eye from outside to your pot. Next thing I'm going to be doing is selecting something with a little height. So at the moment, these euphorbia sticks on fire, they're kind of small, but in time, they will get to be large plants. So I'm going to place these in the back of the pot because the height in time would cover up your other plants in the front. And our third factor that we're going to do is something in the front, low and somewhat hanging over the sides. So now what we're going to do is the physical planting. So what you want to do first is here at Orchard, we suggest to use E.B. Stone's natural cactus mix. It works very well. It is a low content of organic material, which helps with cutting down on root rot in the succulents. We're gonna add just a little bit of the cactus mix. Here at Orchard, we also suggest to add a little bit of volcanic pumice with your cactus mix. This will help to mimic the plant's natural environment, which is often, as I had stated before, very fast draining, and it does not have too much organic material. So you want to mix these at about a 60 to 40 percentage with 60% cactus mix, 40% pumice. So when you place these plants, you want to make sure that the soil level of the pot is not equal to the pot itself, but slightly lower. I personally like to go with about an inch below the pot's line. And then when taking succulents out, it's important to not just turn it over and flop because you can break the plant. So what I do is I gently put my fingers in on the soil and then I turn the plant upside down and give it kind of a wiggle. It should pop right out. So then you're gonna place your plant here in the middle, and again, if the plant roots kind of fall apart, it's not too much of an issue because succulents hold the majority of their water in their leaves, so the roots will grow back. Now we're going to be placing our taller plants in the back row. This will allow you at vantage points to see the plant without covering up the rest of your plants. Okay, so next plant we're going to be adding is the lower ones here. These are going to give you the aspect of hanging over the pot. So this plant here that we are using for the hanging aspect, this is Sedum spurium Weinsteiner's Gold. So this is a nice green color, which matches the Echeveria agavoides color here as well. And one of the nice things about this sedum, and the reason I chose it, is because though it's hard to tell now, the flowers, when they do flower, are a golden color, which is going to mimic the yellow you see from the euphorbias. They do not need to be completely planted straight in. So the most important part of this is just filling in the gaps. So you don't want to have soil with air pockets. And so if you look at this pot, there's something a little bit missing. So you got tall plants here, but hanging ones in the front and a nice focal point, but there's something in the back. So a nice thing that I like to do to add a sort of a natural look is to add some sort of hardscape, something like a large stone, to kind of bring the planter to the environment, to sort of take the trip to nature. All right, so now once I've done that, I'm going to add a little bit more cactus mix, trying to fill in the areas. And so what I'm going to also do here in front of the rock, as you see there's a space if you're looking at it from the front, I'm going to put some aloe aristatas here. So these are going to fill in nice and rounded to kind of take over the free space. It may not look entirely full now, but in one growing season, these guys should grow to about here, and these should fill in fully. All right, moving on to our last step. Our last step is going to be the finishing step, right? So everything looks nice, everything's planted, you have your repetition, you have every plant filled, all the nooks are nice and tight so there's no air. The next thing we need to do is mulch. So with succulents, it's important to have a mulch that is an inorganic material. So something that's not gonna harbor any sort of fungus or bacteria. What I like to use is a rock base. So the rocks help to keep any sort of fungus and soil off of the plants that are susceptible to rot. So again, I chose California Gold as my color because I think that it's going to mimic the yellowy orange look that I'm looking for with the pot and my theme. So you may have noticed that I did not add any fertilizer to this pot. And the reason I don't add a fertilizer immediately is because often succulent planters are planted as specimen pieces, or they want them to look that way for a long time. So what I will do is after finished planting this one, in about a month, I will use cactus juice. So this is specifically used, formulated for cactus and succulents. What it does is it has an actual pretty low number of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So this helps to keep the plants healthy, but not blowing up the growth that they're going to have. All right, so we have our planter. This is something that you can all accomplish, and I appreciate you joining me today at Orchard Nursery.